Was that just a reminder of you got to play to the whistle, and even a play like that, you just got to...
I mean, it's a tough situation because we all know exactly what was going on. His coaches told them, you can't get a flag right here because you get a pass interference, they're going to kick the field goal, you lose the game. They can't get out of bounds because we all know if they get out of bounds, they're still going to get a field goal. So you got one or two things you can do. You can play the ball and try to make a play, which I would have done. I would just play the ball, try to make a play. Or you could just play back a little bit when you catch it, tackle the guy and don't let him get out of bounds. What you can't do is be too conservative to where you do neither and the guy catches and scores a touchdown. So it's a tough situation for that guy. I mean, I feel sorry for him. I wish him the best. Hopefully he can get past this because it's a situation where you feel like you let your team down and you lost the game on your own. Obviously, it's a long game. A lot of things happen before that. But when you just one play like that at the end of the game, you never want to put that on one person like that. It sucks.
What's it like that you have your game on Saturday night, which comes down to the last play, but Jalen Mills is able to be there to make the stop with great team defense, and then the Vikings game comes and the opposite occurs?
I mean, it sucks. I mean, that's how things go, you know. I mean, it's the playoffs. It's going to be close games. Guys going to play hard. Most of the time, it's going to come down to the end. Final drive, final play, things like that. To be sitting there watching that game and to see how that game ended, it was crazy because we all talking, all the defense talking. We already thinking we playing the Saints. After they kicked the field goal, we like, man, okay, so we got this, we got that. And then to see that happen when you think the game is over is crazy. So it's tough for him. It's tough on the team. I mean, you never want to lose like that. But, I mean, it happens sometimes, I guess.
Corey, there's going to be a lot of talk this week about Vikings having the #1 defense. Is that a respect factor for you guys? Are you going to use that as motivation at all?
Part of the defense?
Yeah.
Nah, we don't care, man. We passed that, man. We're at the point right now, man. We win a game, you're in the Super Bowl. I mean, if you still fight for respect at this point, it don't really matter. I mean, when you get this close, there's 4 teams left, man. You just got to find ways to get a victory. Guys might use the respect thing. I don't think they're going to look at the defense aspect of it. They might look at, the underdog at home and all that type of stuff. It's all said and done. They got a good defense. We got a good defense. Whichever one played better at that day probably win the game. It's going to come down to the end. Who's going to make the most plays? And we just got to find a way to make one more than them.
The way that the Minnesota game ended, does that drive home, a point for you guys even more in the secondary?
Well, of course. I mean, we came in today and we all watched all those plays, and it's just like you're looking at the things that you can't do. I mean, it's pretty routine. Every team does that every week. I mean, victory, things like that, victory sideline. Can't let them get out of bounds. You can't do this and do that. To see, they were in a pretty good call, but to see how it just didn't work out for them, and it sucks. So obviously, everybody's going to pay more attention to it now.
So what's the teaching point on that? Like, if you're a safety and everything, like,
dude, play the ball. Just, as a defensive back, I'm not going to lie, we really, as a defensive back, we don't think intercept every play. A lot of times we're thinking break it up, knock the ball down. So if you go back to the first thing you really thinking when you learn as a kid, if you're a defensive back, don't let him catch the ball. That's it. I mean, I think he was just overthinking it a little bit. He was obviously doing what his coach told him, trying to stay outside, can't let the guy get out of bounds, can't get a pass interference call. So when you put all that into it, it slows you down. And he probably got there a little too fast, so he knew that he couldn't hit the guy because it would be a flag. So he just was in a bad situation. You just go up and play the ball. Don't even worry about the guy. Just knock the ball down, the game over. Or just tackle the guy, either or. But he got there a little early, so that's why he probably thought he couldn't do that.
So was it Coach Schwartz or Unlin that showed you guys those cut-ups?
Both. We watched it in the defense meeting room, then we go back in our room and we watched it again on this net. So we've seen it. Coach Unlin showed us. So, everybody's seen it. We've seen it live. We know we was playing one of those teams. You think everybody in here didn't watch that game?
I'm sure they did.
Everybody saw that game.
What do the coaches say?
As far as, like, what you can't do?
You go in, you watch it, and then I'm sure they have something to say, like what they're saying at that moment.
I'm pretty sure you can give me a teacher point about that. What he shouldn't have done, huh? Tell me that. Make the tackle, make the play. It's pretty simple, huh?
Is it as someone who's played on the biggest stage, though, easier said than done to not have your thoughts swimming at that moment? With everything on the line there.
He's a rookie.
Yeah.
Come on. He's a rookie on probably the biggest stage he's ever been on. Everything's on the line on one play. So, it's a lot on the guy, man. The coaches told him 3 different things. Obviously, you got to be outside leverage no matter what. You can't get a pass interference. You can't let him get out of bounds. Mm-hmm. Like it's a lot on his mind. So he's thinking about all this at the same time. So you can see how, I mean, you got so much going through your mind, everything's on the line. You can see how that can happen. I mean, especially, and then you get there early and you know you can't hit them. I mean, so it's tough on them. You see how it can happen, so it sucks. You just don't want that to happen. You know, I mean, obviously, for Minnesota, they're happy about it. They're still playing. For the Saints, it sucks. For him, it's even worse because you don't want nobody to go through that. I mean, you got to worry about, I mean, with the fans and with being in New Orleans, you know, everyone's all against them. Everywhere you look, that's all they're talking about, that one play, and it sucks. I mean, I've been on SportsCenter 50 times since the game been over, and it's all about one play. When it was a long football game, nobody's showing nothing before that and things like that. It's all about that one play. So that's just how it is. I mean, it's tough for him. I wish him the best. Hopefully he can get through this. We'll see how strong he really is.
At the same time, you guys kind of had a last play, too, in the end zone.
It could have been a complete – just think about it. It could have been the same thing with us. Yeah. Julio goes up, make a ridiculous catch, get both feet down. I mean, it's the complete opposite.
Right.
I mean, so that's just how things go, man. It comes down to the end. It's who makes play, who don't.
What makes those receivers so good, Diggs and Thielen?
Man, they play hard. They good, man. They run great routes. They find ways to get open. Scramble drill. They move around well. They come back to the ball. They make contested catches. They're good. They're just a good offense all around. I mean, all those receivers. The tight end does a good job. Big physical guy. High points the ball well. They got two running backs that do a good job. I mean, their offense is very good all around. I mean, if you look at the stats, man, they're like top 10 in everything. I mean, they're around the area and everything. So they do a good job all around. It's a good football team. But what could you expect? There's 4 teams left playing. It's going to be a lot of good football teams.